Kia ora and welcome to another Wellbeing Wednesday with me, Syrian for Becoming Healthy. This week I'm doing a little hand reflexology and tapping combo on perimenopause. So this is the stage of life that every woman goes through just before menopause, and menopause being the stage where we no longer menstruate or have periods. Perimenopause can show itself in lots of ways. It can be very intense, it can be mild, it can be long, it can be short, but however you're experiencing it, these little techniques, the hand reflexology and the tapping, either used in combination or separately, will help ease you through those symptoms. What they both do effectively is help us and our body get into a parasympathetic nervous system way of being. So that's our calm, our peaceful way of being, that allows us to take full breaths for the body to function fully rather than being in that sympathetic nervous system way of being, which is a stressed way of being, which has us on edge and tense and makes all of those symptoms actually far worse because our body's just not functioning the way it should to allow them to flow through us. So for the hand reflexology part, I'm going to just dive straight into the routine. If you want to see how you can do little warm-up moves beforehand, then please look through my other videos to find that. For the EFT or the tapping part, I'm going to use quite generic terms, so I'm just going to say these perimenopause symptoms. But remembering the more specific you can be as to your symptoms and your experiences, the more beneficial the tapping will be. So while I'm just saying these perimenopause symptoms, if you're experiencing hot flushes and that's the most aggravating thing for you, then you can replace that and use the word hot flushes. Likewise, if you like to flavour your language with expletives, like I do, though not on here, then add those in, because the more you can express yourself how you would normally, the more beneficial it will be. So that being said, I'd like to take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth, and just thinking about those perimenopause symptoms that you may be experiencing. And even if you're not there yet, but you may be apprehensive about them, then think about those and rate them on a scale from 0 to 10, where 0 is no emotion, no concerns at all, no issues, and 10 is everything's happening at once and it's driving you insane and you're wondering if you've lost your sanity. That would be a 10. So just rating, it's just a subjective number. The first number that pops into your head is fine, because sometimes by the time we end, we don't feel as frustrated. We think, oh, it mustn't have been that bad. But that's how effective EFT is. So we're going to start on the karate chop. Remembering, just pop in your more specific words if you want to. So even though I'm experiencing these perimenopause symptoms, and they're really frustrating, I love and accept myself. Even though I'm experiencing these perimenopause symptoms, and they're really frustrating, I love and accept myself and how I feel. Even though I'm experiencing these perimenopause symptoms and they're really frustrating, I love and accept myself and how I feel, and maybe everyone else who's involved. So we're going to go to the eyebrow. So it's basically the end of your eyebrow there. These perimenopause symptoms. Side of the eye, these perimenopause symptoms. Under the eye, just on the bone there, these perimenopause symptoms. Under the nose, these perimenopause symptoms. Sorry, go this way so you can see my mouth. These perimenopause symptoms. Chin, these perimenopause symptoms. Collarbone, these perimenopause symptoms. Under the arm, these perimenopause symptoms. And top of the head, these perimenopause symptoms. So taking a deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth, and then thinking about those perimenopause symptoms now, rate yourself again on a 0 to 10 scale. Now, you may have gone up because thinking about them may have actually made everything more intense. You may have stayed the same because your body's like, what's this bloody silly tapping? It's not going to make any difference. And that's absolutely fine as well. Or it may have gone down, which is what we're aiming for ultimately. Whichever way it went, I invite you to continue in the same way, just repeating those rounds. You'll remind us sequence when we use these perimenopause symptoms when we went around, but it could be this frustration, my body acting this way or these hot flushes. So you can put your own words in. The main thing is to tap because that will help. And even in the middle of experiencing any of the symptoms, you can still tap on all of the points without using the words, because obviously you're living it, so you don't need to bring it up into your mind. You're actually experiencing them, so you can just tap as you're experiencing the symptoms, and that will help alleviate them too. So moving on to our hand reflexology routine now. As I said, I won't do the warm-up. I'm just going to dive straight into it just to make the most of the time that we have. So the first part we're going to work is our head reflex. So this is basically the top of your digits or your fingers right down to that first crease or that first interphalangeal joint. So we're going to work this area, the whole of it, right down to that line, all over. I'm holding my hands up so you can see, but if you can hold them down and relax them maybe on a pillow, all the better. So I'm just going to work these quite quickly, but you've got the ability to stop this, to rewind. Well, not rewind, don't have videos anymore, but you know what I mean. You can stop it and you can take your time and work these a lot slower than I am. I'm moving through this just to keep the video short. But basically we want to work all of those head reflexes, because within the head reflexes are important things like the pineal gland, the pituitary, the hypothalamus, and the parathyroid gland, all of which play a role in regulating our hormones. And of course, perimenopause is a time when our hormones are in flux. So now that we've worked all of those head reflexes, we're going to work the spine. So if you imagine this first part is my head, the spine comes from there all the way down the edge of my hand to the heel of my hand. So we're just going to stroke down here. And of course, the spine has also got the nervous system running down it. So this helps to calm that area of our body. Again, I'm doing this quite quickly, but you can slow it down. I'm not using lotion, but you can use some oil or lotion to make it feel all the more luxurious. And of course, resting your hand down helps. The next part we're going to work on is the diaphragm. So often when we're in that stressed way of being or experiencing something we don't like, our breath becomes shorter and we constrict a little bit. So we want to open up that diaphragm, get it working fully, open up our lungs. So the diaphragm line is across here. So it's basically where that hand can crease. So you can either stroke it across, or as I just showed there, you can actually put your fingers in and go for a deeper working into your diaphragm on both sides. It's just preference, whichever you prefer. So either stroking across, obviously try and get it more relaxed than I am, across, or that working in like I did. The next point we're going to find is our solar plexus. Now this is on the diaphragm line, and it is between the third and fourth fingers. If you make Spock fingers, then you can find it quite easily. And we're going to press in. I'm going to just do it with my finger here, but ideally you want to just have your hand relaxed and your thumb, and you're going to take 3 full breaths on this point, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Either just hold your finger or your thumb there. You don't need to press at all. If you want to, though, you can just lightly pulsate, and it's really light so that we keep it calm. So we're going to go in through the nose and out through the mouth, relaxing the whole jaw, and you're going to do that 3 times on each hand. So we'll do 1 on this one, in through the nose and out through the mouth, and you'll repeat 2 more times. So you may need to stop this and do that fully. Once you've done the solar plexus point, which is a whole plethora of nerves related to our parasympathetic nervous system, so this also helps us calm and come into that peaceful way of being, we're going to do our ovaries. Now the ovary reflex is on the pinky side, down on your wrist. So we're just going to use our whole hand or all the fingers just to rub really gently in a circular motion around here. So your ovaries are on the pinky side, your uterus is on the thumb side. So what I like to do is actually just continue just working around with my whole hand, just rubbing that area fully. And just giving it a really gentle, it doesn't have to be firm. And just rubbing that whole wrist area fully. Next one we're going to do are the adrenals, which sit on top of the kidneys. Now the way that we're going to do this is just with a little stroke, and it's not, I'm hardly touching or pulling the skin at all. It's just literally stroking down because we want to calm those adrenals, because they're another one that gets flared up when we experience pain or something unpleasant. So we just want to calm them and tell them, actually, well, this isn't very nice, it's okay, and I'm going to be okay. So we do that on both hands. Now I like to use a whole lot of fingers there because in the hand all the points are quite small, but this way we actually get our stomach too and the kidneys, and we just calm down that whole area, because you've probably experienced, sometimes when you're anxious or stressed, your stomach can start to kind of tighten as well. And then what we're going to do is a little hug from our elbow all the way down to our fingertips, going on the top and then on the bottom. And what you can do is you can just stay a little bit longer on that wrist area if you like, and move around before you go onto the hands, so that you're getting, so we're going from the top, hug a little bit longer around there and down to the fingers, and then you can go underneath. And this just helps release some of that tension in the body. And then the final thing is just hands on hands, taking a few deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. And then just slowly, slowly moving your hands apart from each other until you can feel the energy between them start to dissipate. Just easing out of it. So that's the little hand reflexology routine and EFT combo. I hope that it helps you ease through some of those symptoms you're experiencing. I know it has for me. If you've got any questions at all, please pop something in the comments below. I love hearing your feedback. If there's something else you would like me to create a little hand reflexology or tapping combo on, I'm happy to do that too. As I said, I dove straight into the hand reflexology routine, but if you'd like to do the warm-ups and the full self-care routine, you can also find that in my videos. Please like and subscribe. It helps keep all those algorithms happy. But apart from that, have a great week, and I look forward to seeing you in another Wellbeing Wednesday. If you want to see some of the other ones I've created, then check out my website, www.becominghealthy.co.nz, under the free stuff. Have a great week. Bye.